I needed space away from my husband and adult kids. So I found a. Are you resigning from being our mother? My 25-year-old son sputtered into the phone. The ink had just dried on a 9-month sublet, 30 miles from our suburban home. Moms don't move out. You're crazy. Crazy, you, a term confused men sometimes cast on women. After 2 years of commuting from our home to a university where I'd enrolled in a master's program, I decided to sublet a small apartment 20 blocks from school. I wanted flexible 3 nights a week, bathed in the silence of my apartment. I indulged in a space where I had the liberty to make myself a cup of coffee without making one for someone else first. Sometimes, I first read Virginia Woolf's essay, when I was an undergraduate, and though I understood her position that women were deprived of most social and academic advantages inherent to Anglican men, I didn't appreciate the significance of the room I had moved from her. Though I wasn't familiar with the verbiage, as I bore one child after another, I performed my gender, mimicking what I'd observed on TV. As I laid out what I hadn't understood was that my domestic perfection wouldn't insulate my children from crippling learning disabilities, crushing breakups, clinical depression, and even drugs. There was more to raise, and then, my days were driven by my children's routines, athletic practices, and games, parent-teacher conferences, doctor and dentist visits, music lessons, homework checks, library readings, dog walks, scraping up pet hair, and too many visits to the emergency room. I ran a few miles, making sure that everyone was where they needed to be. I forgot where I wanted to go. I was so fritzed, I started watching reality TV. This isn't how My second husband had an off-site office where he grew our family business, and my 4 kids seemed to have their own spaces in our home, but I had no place designated as mine, a space where I could read and write and think. Even the mudroom. Heading toward 60, I made an attempt to fill the void. Are you resigning as our mother? Echoed as I unpacked my Nespresso maker. Of course not, I said. But I was also mothering myself. We cast women who live alone as isolated cat ladies. Spinsters who have, in Ann Tyler's, Delia Grinstead, the 40-year-old protagonist, walks along the beach in her bathing suit with $500 tucked into her tote as she leaves behind her husband and 3 children. Reading this I wondered, except it wasn't a single she. As I continued, my husband boasts to our friends, my wife loves doing laundry. Do I? I flinch at the word. Watching the Housewives franchise engendered such self-disgust that one show winding into the next inspired me to make a change. What about my I realized that part of what had enabled my husband's success was that he never collected his shirts at the dry cleaners or shopped for the apple juice he loves. I don't serve dinner. When I signed the lease for the apartment with a bathroom so small my husband had trouble standing in it, I understood that though I had craved domesticity, had rushed into marriage to ensure that I would be married, would have children, would make a family, now, in my own way, I was running away from that role. I thought of my grandmother in her kitchen preparing one meal after the other, meals that held our family together. She had taught me from stocking the fridge, tending to our fragile septic system, the lost newspaper, sorting piles of mail, not to mention the bloody laundry. You are surely happy problems that indicate life and family. Nevertheless, did I deserve an apartment of my own? I took it because I could. Georgette Kulakundis Mallory is a freelance writer. Related video, What can mothers do to avoid isolation? Provided by CBS.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up in the park,